here I am again, Janette Stone, and I thought maybe I would talk a little bit this afternoon. Oh, it's kind of late right now. It's dinner time actually, but well, with since Bill Stone is now fishing, my schedule is a little different than it has been. But hasn't all of our schedules been just a tad different than than it used to be? So we can do things really in a different way than we've ever done them before, and that's all right. But I thought I would just really touch base with you and say that, to receive the fact that so many things are changing, but so many things are always changing in our life. Look at myself now with the gray hair and the wrinkles, and it wasn't what it used to be 40 years ago when I would give talks. It is a little different, but the fact is we have to accept change, that nothing is permanent. And so if we don't accept things, I think that we stop ourselves from being happy and being content. We have to adapt to what is next. Of course, there are people who cannot do that, who tend to see things as always a problem, but they really are really not growing up and not growing into the change that it is for us. Uh, right now, I'd like to talk about two things, two people really. Josiah and Jeremiah from the Old Testament. Interesting that I would talk about those people now, the way things are. But if you'd look at 2 Kings chapter 22, it talks about a young man, 8 years old, who was king of Jerusalem. And he did what was right, it says. He did what was right in the sight of the Lord. And so he was somebody to read and someone to admire and someone that was a very strong leader because he did what was right. He did not turn from the right, it says in 2 Kings chapter 22, nor did he turn left. He stayed on course. And I think during this time, when things are so hectic, saying things are always changing every day, we find out something new, that we need to stay on course and not turn from the right and turn from the left as far as God is concerned. Good example. When he was 18, he asked the high priest to repair the temple. Now, if you remember, the temple was built very exactly. God had plans for that temple and wanted it done just the way that God wanted it done. And they hadn't taken care of it. And Josiah saw that and said, repair this temple. And here is the money for it, he said to the high priest. Give it to the workers and let them in their workmanship repair this temple. And they do not have to tell me what they spend the money for. And he said that because Joshua wanted the high priest to trust them. There are times in our life when we have to trust people, that they don't have to be accountable to us about everything. And I think now is a time that we have to do that. We have people far brighter than we are, far brighter than Janette Stone, who are going to try to figure out what we're going through right now, and truly are going to. The fact that we have to trust them, that they're not always accountable to us, that we know that every day there is something new that they have discovered, as they discovered something when they repaired the temple. Right beside the ark, they found, truly, it is remarkable to me, they found the book of the law of the Lord. Right beside the ark. A great thing the ark was. Phenomenal, historical, treasured thing. But right beside it, they found the book of the law of the Lord. And so I think that when we look at our lives and what we're going through today, right beside what we're going through right now, right beside of us, right at this moment, might be something that is really speaking to us, that is really remarkable, if we will look for it. And if we found it, if we found something grand that is going on in our life today that would not have gone on any other way, share it with other people, as they shared the book of the law of the Lord. It was interesting to me, the high priest was the father of Jeremiah. If you have not read the book of Jeremiah, please do so. It is a remarkable book. about a young man who came to the Lord, and with the fullness of that, believing in him, believing in his law. And Jeremiah 20, chapter 20, verse 9 says that he got so discouraged, as we do. We get so discouraged. And God, and he said to God, God, I'm not going to talk about you anymore. People don't like me talking about you. And so because people don't like me talking about you, I'm not going to do it anymore. Have we gotten to that point? Because people don't like what we have to say, we don't say it. We would not have that be part of our life if we want to be completely all that God has planned for us and have all in our life what God has planned for us. Jeremiah said, I will forget God and I will no longer speak his name. But what stopped him? The word is inside of me, he said, like a fire, and it's burning my bones. And so I have to speak of him. And because of that verse, many years ago, the olive tree, which is I'm the founder of, and many other women are part of it, of course, and we started the Burning Bones Club. And so if you would like to be part of that, please contact the olive tree. And you can be. We'll explain it more. But the words of God burned in his bones. And so Jeremiah had to talk about them. If the words of God are not burning in your bones right now, ask God to start the burning so that it will come out. Have you really thought, maybe at times when things are so questionable in many people's minds, that you want to say to them, hold it. God has got this. He hasn't lost control. We have lost control. God is the one that will figure this out. God is the one who truly loves you so much, loves me so much, that he will take care of us. Remember this day. I ask this in your son's name. As you say to him, I ask you, dear Father, please have your word burn in my bones so much that I have the courage that it will take. And courage is needed when we're afraid. You don't need courage when you're not afraid. So it's a prime opportunity for you to say, dear Father, I ask this in your son's name. Give me courage. You have a good day and a courageous night. And look for what's right beside your ark. Bye-bye.